back to the channel. I'm Chase, and this is Cut to the Chase with me, Chase. And if you're like me, you grew up in the 90s, and you might have heard of this show. I don't know, maybe. It kind of flew under the radar. It's called X-Men. Maybe not. It was a fantastic cartoon. And a lot of my best memories of cartoon watching involves this show. My brothers and I, we were obsessed when it came to the Phoenix Saga and how good that was, how much of a rich story that was. Even as young as we were, we appreciated the story that it told. It's quite incredible. So when I heard about 2 years ago they were going to be continuing that series, I was actually excited. However, I heard the dreaded words that it was going to be made for a modern audience. All hopes were dashed. I knew it was going to become another victim to the woke mob. We have countless examples of it, from Velma to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air to name any Disney remake that's out there right now. Almost any. It's too many to count. And so I could only imagine that X-Men is going to be the next victim of the woke mob. But before we get into that, if you like pop culture and how the woke mob is destroying it, then you're going to love this channel, and hit that subscribe button because we post videos like this all the time. So there's a guy here. His name is Beau DeMayo, and he is the head writer on the new show of this X-Men 97. And I want you guys to hear his pitch that he gave to Kevin Feige. In his own words, okay? I want you guys to hear it. It's hilarious. I came up with a pitched it to Kevin Feige, and, you know, him and Brad Winderbaum could not have been more supportive. And also just encouraging to make sure we got it right. All right, we're off to a good start. We want to make sure we get X-Men right. Let's go. I think one of my favorite parts was like, they were truly interested in what my experience as a black gay man was, and how it was going to inform the story we were telling. What does that have to do with anything going on with the X-Men? Why does your experience as a black gay man have any impedance on this story? Any influence? It doesn't. It doesn't. Nobody cares that you're a black gay man. Nobody. It's 2023. Big whoop. Now, Kevin Feige does not give the response that I just gave. Okay? He goes the polar opposite direction. And that to them was like, that is how we're going to make this authentic. Yes! Yes! There is nothing more authentic to a story than a black gay man. Give me a break, guys. Like, what are we doing over there? What is the point of any story writing over there? All you gotta do, hey, I got a great idea. I want to bring back Alvin and the Chipmunks. But you know what would make it better? Is if they were both black and gay. That's whatever, man. Nothing matters. But he doesn't give much about the plot of the story, but he does continue to give reasonings of what he's doing and why he's doing it. And one of those is we've assembled a great team of really amazing directors, artists, storyboard artists, and writers to just get this right and really drill down to what I think the X-Men's always going to be about, which is just, you know, we talk a lot about the dream, it's social acceptance, and it's social justice. No, that is not at all what it's about. That is not at all what it's about. Stan Lee himself has even said X-Men was never created in response to the civil rights movement. Just wasn't.
Sir, where did you get the idea for the X-Men, and did you originally create them to destroy racial prejudice?
I didn't create them to destroy racial prejudice.
I'm not saying there aren't storylines within X-Men that might be interpreted as something social justice, but it was not created out of that. I will tell you why X-Men was created. Do you want to know the secret? I can tell it to you. Money. money. Comics were selling like hotcakes. Everybody was buying comics. So if you bring out a new team of superheroes on a new comic, guess what? People are going to buy that new team of superheroes and you're going to sell more comics. That's why the X-Men was created. That's it. Sorry to burst your bubble, but that's it. Most of the time, it's not that deep. Now, in regards to the plot that he does give, he does say that humans do at some point accept the mutants. Okay, that's a pretty big deal. That's a pretty huge deal. Okay, I want to tell you what he says so you can hear it from his own words. He added, but then of course, as the X-Men are kind of looking at the future and really kind of, we're going to be talking a lot about this, how do you face the future? How do the X-Men do what they've been telling humanity to do for decades? Which is embrace the future. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? How do they get humanity to embrace the future? How do they embrace the future? What do you think that the X-Men have been doing for the last 30 years, Beau? Like, what do you think that it is that they've been doing? Just sitting around? Well, why do you think Beast has been trying to form relations with the Senate and Congress? And Jean Grey goes and visits Congress. Professor X has congressmen and senators that are friends. And like his battle with Magneto that he's constantly facing. Why do you think they've been doing? Why do you think he started the school for gifted youngsters? So that young people could come to the school to learn about their powers and then how to control them and how they can be productive members of society with those powers. To integrate themselves into society. They've been waiting for this moment for humanity to accept them. And you had the gall to say, how do the X-Men do what they've been telling humanity to do for decades? They don't need to. They've been doing it. That's like going to a doomsday prepper who's been prepping for 30 years. And you're saying, hey, it's doomsday. And he's like, I know. I have no idea what to do. It's as stupid as that sounds. That's exactly how ridiculous this premise is. It's dumb. Now, I will say, as much as I hate that, I hate it, I will say there's some silver lining to this whole thing. So Beau DeMayo here, he was a writer on The Witcher. We all know how that turned out. We all know the relationship between the writers and Henry Cavill and how they just hated him and his desire to keep true to the character. So he was a writer there and he gives his experience there. And he talks about how he went about in vetting people who are going to be involved with this X-Men 97 project. And he says, my general rule was you had to be a fan, no questions. This, he continued, was born out of his experiences on show, namely The Witcher, where some of the writers were not or actively disliked the books and games, even actively mocking the source material. It's a recipe for disaster and bad morale, he adamantly declared. Fandom as a litmus test checks egos and makes all of the long nights worth it. You have to respect the work before you're allowed to add to its legacy. He's saying the right things there. And that's about all he said that I would concur with. I am 80% positive this show is going to be garbage. More than likely. There's a little 20% there in that quote that leads me to believe, hey, maybe it might be all right. But anything that's made for a modern audience is just going to, you can take it to the bank, go to Vegas, put all your numbers that it's going to just crash and burn. What do you guys think? Do you guys think Beau DeMayo here is on the right track? Do you think I'm just overreacting and I need to calm down? Whew, I think I might need to. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's garbage. But hey, if you haven't yet subscribed, you should do that right now. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell for notifications too. And if you haven't yet already, please like the video because that helps YouTube put this kind of content in front of more eyeballs so people can see it. And as always, guys, peace out.